Привет, ребятки. Это у нас будет третья серия. The Council.
Nothing here. I wouldn't mind a nice strong coffee though. There's a circle around the lock here. Must be the trunk Mortimer was talking about. The key should open it. There's a note. Effects of Sœur de Richer to be given to her son, Louis. I should probably take it. I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Ясно. Значит, меда, короче, в начале дают довольно много. Можно его тратить, не жалея. Учтем при следующих прохождениях. Просто потом, это вот поначалу кажется меда много, начинаешь его потом тратить, а дальше его уже не хватает. Так, на улице я был. Здесь я везде был. Это мне не надо. Ладно, валим.
If I get a chance, I may have to take a little tour through the rooms of the other guests.
В комнате других гостей. Ну, я в прошлый раз, кстати, этим не грешил. Можно попробовать, что с этого выйдет.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Привет.
Might be better to take a different stairway. Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Ну, к ней нельзя.
That must be the door to the room of the soldier I saw. Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte.
Пойдем. Ага. У меня взлома-то нету. Пойдем.
Monsieur Jacques Perru.
Ладно, в жопу. Я, конечно, войти к ним не смогу. У меня взлома нету, не прокачан.
Excuse me, Monsieur de Richer. I really need to talk to you.
Is this about last night?
No, that was just a misunderstanding. I'm sure it was a little bit my fault too.
There's no excuse for that man's horrible behavior. You ought to tell Sir Home.
Look, the only thing that I care about is that I've lost something precious. I'm not worried about Jacques Peru.
You didn't happen to lose this, did you?
Where did you find it?
In the small salon.
It's the only reminder I have of my beloved sister. I thought that swine stole it from me. You're her son. Sarah de Richet's son.
Yes, why?
Last night, I found out that your mother was on the island. What are you doing here?
Excuse me, but speaking frankly, why would you care?
I know your mother very well.
Really?
Yes, I have been in your mother's care ever since I was born.
She nursed you.
Oh, I wouldn't say nursed. No. I remember her stare, cold as ice. Her sadistic hands pressing over my mouth to silence me while I screamed in pain. I remember her knees, too. She held me down with them while she cut and burned scars into me.
Hold on a minute. What do you mean?
You can ask her when you see her.
Huh, she's getting more and more agitated.
Look, I've got to go.
Wait. I need to know more about you and my mother. Why did she put you through all of that? There must be some reason for what she did.
What's the point of rubbing salt in the wounds?
Я не помню, в психологии, по-моему, она устойчива.
Elizabeth.
Нет. Блин, я забыл, она же психопатка. Она устойчива психологии.
Hiding in me might ease your burden. Let me relieve you of some of your suffering.
Relieve me? Do you even hear yourself? Do you really think that by confiding in my torturer's son, I will be healed as if by magic? That it will bring my smile back? Or let me sleep at night? Look, you don't seem like a bad person. And I'm sorry you have to find out your mother's true colors like this. But I'm not going to pity you. Everybody has their cross to bear. I know your little game. You're no different from the rest of them. You couldn't give a damn about me. The only thing you're interested in is finding out about your mother.
Don't say that. Not everyone wants to use you. Some people care about you, don't they? Haven't you got a sister?
Yes.
I'm sure she loves you with all her heart.
She's the only one who cares about me. I would have put an end to it all by now if it weren't for her. Since you insist, I'll tell you how I met your mother.
Thanks for trusting me.
You see, before I was born, my mother often suffered from hallucinations and fits of anger. Soon people could barely recognize her. She became a completely different person. So my father spent an enormous...
А что если перезагрузиться? Попробуем? Ладно.
amount of money paying for the best doctors, but none of them were able to cure her. The last resort was to call a priest.
So, is that what your father did?
No. He went to an expert in the occult.
Ah, my mother.
Her reputation already extended beyond our borders. My mother's fits stopped at my birth, and Sarah de Richet concluded that the evil had passed into me. Not only did it encourage her to stay, but she took the opportunity to advise my father to separate me from the rest of my family. That's how I was declared stillborn. My fate was decided that very day.
It would coincide with my mother's frequent trips to America.
I had my first fit when I was 3. That's when your mother began her experiments to rid me of the evil inside.
I understand how you feel, but I know my mother. I'm sure she had her reasons, even if it seems difficult to believe.
Everything she put me through was all for nothing. My whole life was ruined for nothing.
So what brings you here then?
My father used to know Sir Holm. He offered to introduce me to the world's leading authority in the occult.
Lord Mortimer.
He was my last hope. Until I found out he had also invited your mother.
It's got to be a coincidence. I don't believe for a second she's come here for you.
You can't change my mind about this, Louis. My days are numbered, and I know it.
Что интересно, я прохожу, ну, как бы игру второй раз ради вас. Ну, первый раз не до конца прошел, там немножко. Но я выполняю те же самые действия, те же самые ошибки, которые проходил один. Лол. Так, выйти мы теперь, по-моему, не можем.
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms.
Да, это входная дверь. Так, подожди, это мы вообще где? Мы в этом зале каком-то там. А, ну это вход, да, мы тут были. Нам нужно с этим песиком поговорить.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Это он не расскажет. О хозяине, по-моему, он тоже не расскажет.
Yes. Can you briefly describe the ground floor, please?
Very well, sir. On the ground floor, there are mainly living rooms. Sir finds himself at present in the Grand Hall. From the Grand Hall, Sir can access, on one side, the small salon where the guests like to relax with a good book. From there, Sir can access the conference room, which is closed at present for preparations. That is where Lord Mortimer likes to gather all of his guests for talks. From the other side of the Grand Hall, Sir may access the dining room. That is where Sir's meals will be served. From the dining room, Sir may benefit from an exceptional view overlooking the island. It is also the best way to access the portrait gallery, where a large part of Lord Mortimer's works are exhibited. And in the gallery, Sir will also find access to the garden. But Sir may be reassured the building is accessible on both sides, so that it surrounds the garden in question. So, Sir should not find cause to worry.
Except for my mother.
Has Sir another question?
Короче, вы поняли, что спрашивать, задавать ему вопросы это довольно долгое время. Весь слушать этот бред. Короче, неважно, что находится, я и так уже все знаю.
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, Sir. What would you require?
What's that book you're hiding in your jacket?
The Sorrows of Young Werther by Goethe, sir, and I am not hiding it.
Hand it to me, please.
It is damaged, sir. I would never dare lend Sir a book in such a pitiful state, sir. I took it to restore.
Клево. Вот у меня убеждение прокачано второго уровня, и мне бесплатно не тратить очки.
Indeed, this masterpiece must not become more damaged. Let me have it and I'll take care of it personally. I love antiquarian books.
It bothers me somewhat. It isn't Sir's job to take care of it, really.
No, but I would love to. You'll be doing me a favor by letting me have it.
In that case, sir, I shall leave it in your care with pleasure. May I do anything else for Sir?
По-моему, он больше ничего не даст.
You wouldn't have a little golden elixir I could use, would you?
Oh, unfortunately, sir, I have orders not to give any of that medicine to any of Lord Mortimer's guests. Some guests are here to follow a very strict treatment. Mixing or combining certain substances would be dangerous for Sir.
А, я могу его увидеть? Прикольно. Для лечения. Ну хрен его знает. Не, это этого не стоит. Но буду иметь в виду. Я лучше сохраню очки. Они мне еще понадобятся. Так, это не сюда, а туда.
Dear friends, I bid you welcome. I hope the night was not too short. Your Eminence, Duchess, Monsieur de Richet, allow me to introduce our new guests. They arrived during the night. Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs and close aide of Frederick William II, King of Prussia. Napoleon Bonaparte, Lieutenant of the French Revolutionary Army. And Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. Unfortunately, my friends, Lord Mortimer will not be joining us this morning, but he should be with us later. So, let us begin.
What is Mortimer playing at? He tells me to come urgently and he sends no one to meet me?
That's right. Sire can do
Блять, не успел.
Thank you again for the wine, Your Eminence. It is served every day at the king's table. I am delighted to hear it.
Volner and Piaggi seem to be getting along well.
My dear Johann, how are you?
Glad to make landfall at last. And yourself?
Very well.
And your husband?
He's poorly. The French Revolution gives him terrible headaches.
Oh, I understand. I should feel better too, as soon as the situation is settled.
If by chance the French crisis is emulated in Berlin, there will always be a refuge for you in London, my dear.
Your offer does you honor, Emily. But London is much closer to Paris than Berlin. Beware. The French are capable of sailing up the Thames straight to the Houses of Parliament.
Oh, my friend, I am shaking in my clogs.
Да ёб твою мать.
Is the wine to your liking?
Very much so, Sir Gregory. Such complexity. Typically French. A sauterne, isn't it?
Absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken, this is...
Да ну нахер. Что я все возможности поупустил?
Dear friends, I bid you welcome. I hope the night was not too short. Your Eminence, Duchess, Monsieur de Richet, allow me to introduce our new guests. They arrived during the night. Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs and close aide of Frederick William II, King of Prussia. Napoleon Bonaparte, Lieutenant of the French Revolutionary Army. And Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. Unfortunately, my friends, Lord Mortimer will not...
What is Mortimer playing at? He tells me?
Well, how very
Peru looks totally out of place here. He's counting the 10 sets of cutlery around each plate? The man is completely lost.
Thank you again for the wine, Your Eminence. It is served every day at the king's table.
I am delighted to hear it.
Volner and Piaggi seem to be getting along well.
My dear Johann, how are you?
Glad to make landfall at last. And yourself?
Very well.
And your husband?
He's poorly. The French Revolution gives him terrible headaches.
Oh, I understand. I shall feel better too, as soon as the situation is settled.
If by chance the French crisis is emulated in Berlin, there will always be a refuge for you in London, my dear.
Your offer does you honor, Emily. But London is much closer to Paris than Berlin. Beware. The French are capable of sailing up the Thames straight to the Houses of Parliament.
Oh, my friend, I am shaking in my clogs.
Блин, так жутко стать смеется. Просто жесть.
A Prussian-Britannic coalition is not good for France. The last time we fought against them, our empire went up in smoke.
Is the wine to your liking?
Very much so, Sir Gregory. Such complexity. Typically French. A sauterne, isn't it?
Absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken, this is not Lord Mortimer's favorite wine. It is yours.
In his absence, I have taken the liberty of making a slight deviation from the rule, but I count on your discretion.
Don't worry, I appreciate the same grape varieties as you. I remember the last time we tasted that nectar here at this table. The finest minds of the century were present.
And the last time we drank it, the orphanage in Bloomsbury was still in ruins.
Would you repeat that?
Oh, well, I put some small effort into the works. The orphanage reopened just before Christmas. The bedrooms, washrooms, and the classrooms had all been refurbished.
I don't know what to say. You have given the girls a wonderful Christmas gift. Thank you.
I made a promise. Now it is done.
It's the first time I've ever seen her so moved. Just mentioning that orphanage broke right through Emily's hard shell.
Is everything all right?
Yes, thank you. I had a moment of absence, but here I am again.
Oh dear.
What do you think of Volner?
The Prussian king is his puppet.
I find it hard to believe the king of Prussia is so weak.
Be careful. Volner is as influential as he is dangerous.
You seem to know each other well.
We used to work together.
I see.
That's right. Sierra can do one.
Have you any information on this Napoleon?
Please, go ahead.
He's certainly well connected and in high places.
Surprising. No one appears to know him.
Дебил.
No one knows me, and yet here I am.
Quite so.
Monsieur de Richet? It would seem we have common interests. Could we speak in private, please?
Как меня вызвали в приватный чат. Потратил зря очко. Надо бы выпить зелье.
Lord Mortimer
Ладно.
and the Golden Order, through your mother, have concluded a financial agreement.
Stay composed, Louis. I'm listening.
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother. You must know that I am deeply sorry about their disappearance, but I must validate the deal urgently if I want to be able to organize things properly.
I haven't seen Lord Mortimer yet. I'm afraid I'll be unable to answer your questions.
He assured me that you could replace your mother during her absence.
I appreciate his confidence, but still, this is a bit hasty. But please continue.
Of course, but I need to know if I can count you among my allies.
Well, of course.
And for that, I have a little question for you. The agreement stipulates an aid of 50,000 louis d'or for 200 cannon.
I've only just taken over the affair. The agreement will be considered null and void until we've gone through it together. Is that clear?
All right, you seem to know what you're doing. I have one last question I would like to pose to you. We don't know each other yet, you and I need to make sure that we both share the same vision for the future of France. Given the hard times that have befallen our beautiful country, what do you think it would take to restore its luster?
Блять, нет.
The revolution was a good thing, but it gave birth to a monster.
Черт.
We must overthrow the new system in place.
А, не угадал.
Ah, you are right. Monsieur de Richet, I am reassured. I am very happy to have met you. Lord Mortimer was right to put his trust in you. I hope to work with you in the very near future. I would like to thank you for your support by offering you this humble little gift.
Reflections on the Revolution in France.
Mr. Bonaparte, I thank you for this gesture, and please know that I, too, am delighted to have met you.
Неплохо.
My friends, I
Неплохо.
would
Я уже
like to
думал,
say a few
провалил.
words, please. I would like to thank Lord Mortimer and you, Sir Holm, for bringing us all together here. Those of us for whom it is not the first time here, like me, are all trembling in sweet anticipation of the arrival of our host. For the rest, I would like to reassure you that Lord Mortimer always has a few surprising projects to propose. But I can assure you that each and every one of us has always benefited from them. The last time I came to this place, Lord Mortimer offered to help me in my electoral campaign for the presidency of the United States. And it is imminently clear that his support was an invaluable aid to us. We are here among like-minded people. So let us put aside the conflicts in which some of our nations find themselves at present. So I raise my glass in honor of you all, my new and old friends.
I trust you shall not be disappointed, Mr. Washington.
Washington is a very gifted speaker. Leave him for 5 minutes with sworn enemies and he'll convince them to be friends for life.
Right, we shall meet again tomorrow. All the guests will be present, as well as Lord Mortimer, I hope. Until then, I trust you will find plenty to keep you amused.
Забавно, что вот тут показано. О, это конец? Лол. Аристократия собирается совершить судьбу мира. Богатеи правят всем миром. Я мог обыскать кому-то Элизабет. Я мог обыскать кому-то Наполеона. Ну, я не смог обыскать, потому что не было нужных навыков. А так, в принципе, все отлично сделал. Так, что мы еще выберем? Я прокачаю психологию. Психологию, это хорошо. Значит, еще одну. А, у меня уже одна есть. Отлично. Манипулирование у меня тут нету. Нету. Манипулирование нам надо. Потом нам надо... Допрос бы не мешало. А, науку. Стопудово. Хотя... А, я уже одну потратил. Да. Наука. Наука. Оккультизм. Оккультизм. Убедительность у меня уже есть. Вопрос. Да, пускай будет. В принципе, все.
Alright, let's recap. Before dinner, I was going to investigate my mother's message. I've got to find the place where all eyes size you up.
Так, теперь мне дали, да. Я хотел психологию, по-моему, да, выучить? Да. В принципе, а что еще? Больше нечего. Мало книг пока. Да, психология пускай будет, это полезная штука. Так, что мы знаем об Адамс? У нее устойчивость к психологии. Мортимера устойчивость к убеждению. Ух ты, это интересно. А у меня убеждение второго уровня. Это круто. Так, Холм неизвестно. Перио, слабость, этикет и психология. Так, фон Хонгон. Слабость психологии. К логике. Пьяджи, блин, не помню. У него устойчивость, по-моему, политики. А к допросу у него... По-моему, у него к допросу уязвимость. Устойчивость к убеждению, слабость к этикету и, по-моему, к психологии. Вашингтон, устойчивость к политике. Ну да, правильно, он же у нас политик, мать его. Хорошо. Кстати, какие там черты себе прокачал? Честный этикет, оккультизм, допрос, убеждение. Нормально. Нормалды. Музыка тут прикольная. Такая ненатуральная. Мало зелий. О, кстати, у меня пополнилось это и пропало. Как это? Немощность? Слабость? Клево. Что тут было? А, картина.
This painting has caused some debate. Who did Dosi paint? Alcina the fairy or Circe the magician? Romney painted Lady Hamilton as Circe. Circe preparing wine. What better trap for Ulysses? Discourse on the Method by Descartes. This book changed the way I looked at the world.
Книжки это хорошо. Книжки это навыки.
The Conversion of Ulysses by Gours. Circe changing Ulysses' companions into swines. Circe turning Ulysses' companions back into humans. A swine in a salon? That's an odd choice of decor.
Здорово, мужик.
Well, Your Eminence, do you still have any room left?
Ah, my son, the sin of gluttony is the most difficult of all in my eyes. Nevertheless, what a charming moment we have had together. I'm delighted I was able to talk to Mr. von Wollner. We hadn't spoken to each other for an eternity.
Yes. I noticed that Your Eminence knew a fair number of people at the table.
The benefit of age, my son. This isn't my first invitation to Lord Mortimer's. You will see, it's the perfect place to make new friends. Indeed, I noticed that you and Mr. Bonaparte had already begun.
Ah, I adapt quickly to local customs. It's what I was taught.
And you are right to do so, my son. But tell me, have you had any news of your mother since your arrival?
Alas, still nothing, Your Eminence. But I still haven't been able to meet Lord Mortimer.
Do not worry. It is typical of him. What can I say? Lord Mortimer is a very busy man. I should think you are beginning to worry.
To tell you the truth, not really.
You are right. Be positive. Perhaps Sarah is in the company of Lord Mortimer, and they will both turn up shortly.
But while I have you with me, I have a question for you.
Go ahead, Louis. What can I do for you?
If I said to you, where all eyes size you up, would it mean anything to you?
I don't know if it's the place you're looking for, Louis, but it makes me think of the portrait gallery.
There's a gallery here? Can you tell me where to find it, please?
Of course. Just go through the door at the end. It will lead into the library. Continue all the way through, and you'll end up in the gallery. You'll see it, Louis. When you get there, you'll know.
Thank you very much, Your Eminence. On that last word, then, I shall leave you to fight your demons. See you later, Your Eminence.
See you later, my son.
See you later. Ох, тот бы тортик я умял. И вот тот. И вот тот.
The lock is surrounded by a triple circle.
Потом когда-нибудь найдем кружки эти.
Circe.
Ключи и потом откроем. Ни хрен тратится.
Dining on ham. Well, that's very appetizing.
Ладно, все это срань. знает, где эта земля. Вау! Вот это библиотека. Мать твою. Хера себе, блин. Влад, любишь читать? Ты, наверное, тут пропал, да? Пец. Золотой эликсир. Вот это классная штука.
Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Мед. А, буду уже знать. На лестнице мед есть, отлично. Где-то здесь монета, я помню, была. Нахрен не нужная.
A pound.
Вот и галерея.
Where all eyes size you up. Chances are, that's the room my mother spoke of. And she also spoke of a Medusa. Should I go and try to find the creature now? Allegory regarding the decoration of the rights of men. That's the least you could say. Liberty or Death by Regnault. Well, I'll take liberty, please. But I do understand his choice, even though it seems radical. Ah, painting by Ingres. Molière dining with Louis XIV. The king's posture is surprising. It's almost as if he's addressing someone in the assembly.
Ладно, долго задерживался, если не будем.
Christ Crucified by Velasquez. Look, someone's left a note there. Reserved for the Duke of Alquidia.
The Song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near. His brain is oozing by either ear. With his brain oozing, it's already remarkable that he can feel anything. Amber.
Ah, François Ier, Receiving the Holy Family, a painting by Raphael. The Fall of Phaeton, another painting by Rubens. Poor Phaeton, struck by lightning for borrowing his father's chariot and losing control of it. Moral, don't steal Dad's chariot. A fragment of amber. The Company by Rembrandt. A meeting between Louis XIV and Philippe V. I wonder why Mortimer's particularly fond of this painting. Golden elixir.
Ладно, пора.
Celia. That name means nothing to me.
Задолбало мне здесь. Пойдем дела вершить.
I've got to find out what Mother was trying to do with her. The Medusa. A hero armed with a sword? A hero with a lantern. And the last one holding a shield. I'll stake my life on it. All the statues form a single scene together. The poor devils are about to face the beast. Let's give them a helping hand.
Ну ладно, я не буду тратить очки. Этого к медузе. Этого к щитом. Тут типа 3 статуэтки с мечом, с лампой и щитом. Получается так, что... сейчас, наверное, он расскажет. Ну, типа, что... Как же и в записке эта мать рассказала. Ладно, смысл в том, что свет от лампы падает на щит, а щит отражает свет в глаза медузе. Та типа ослепляется, и ее рубит тот, кто с мечом. Поэтому чел с мечом направлен на медузу, свет направлен на щит, а щит направлен под углом 45 градусов к чуваку с мечом. Здесь, кстати, подсказка есть, книга. Что я сразу не видел.
The Origin of Myths, a reinterpretation of legendary creatures. Just what I need. The text is in French on the left-hand page and in Latin on the right hand. Let's find the chapter on the Medusa. Hang on. This version is significantly different from the regular one. It recounts how men have always belittled women in society. Harpies, mermaids, the chimera, the hydra, the gorgons. The section on the Medusa. While some of the heroes divert attention from the gorgon, the hero with the sword brandishes his weapon at the Medusa.
Вот, видите? Пока другие отвлекают, типа... Ну, типа подсказка. Я не знаю, что здесь будет подсказка, наверное, для особо тупых. Раз ты тупой, то трать очки. Там будет написано, что делать, походу. Либо изучай фигуры, либо трать очки, чтобы изучить фигуры. И фигуры тебе подскажут, что делать. Лично у меня было так. Я типа каждую фигуру... эту фигуру первую изучаешь. И он тебе, собственно говоря, говорит, что делать. Сильно долго думать не надо. Если не хочешь думать, трать очки. Но очки здесь довольно... Как это сказать? Ценные. Она поворачивается к герою со щитом, потому что тот отвлекает ее светом. Это сейчас интересная будет часть.
For Pete's sake, Emily! You scared the pants off me. Don't ever do that again.
Well, keep your nose out of my business then.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop fooling around and tell me what you're doing here.
Oh, yeah? So tell me what you're doing here.
Yeah, just like me.
Probably, but I asked the question first.
Well then, we'll pretend you haven't asked me yet.
What about a little gallantry, Louis? Come on, I'm listening. What are you doing here?
Since you insist, Duchess, gallantry obliges this. Ladies first.
You just won't give in, will you?
I'm sorry, madam. It isn't in my nature.
Well, no matter. I'll tolerate your presence this one time. Now, since you're here, make yourself useful. Look around on your side. I'll do the same on mine. And if you find anything of interest, let me know.
Oh, yeah. In your dreams.
At your service, madam.
Кстати, я не знаю, что бы я ответил другое. В принципе, тут ничего не поменялось.
I found an amazing ring, and there's an inscription engraved on it.
Ой, могу перевести гравировку, прикольно. А давай.
The mythical ring of the Nibelung.
Louis, do you really believe it's the ring of the legend?
You should try it on. They say if you wear it on your finger, it makes you more agreeable.
How droll. In the legend, it's a cursed ring.
Emily, when I see that ring, I can no longer hold back my feelings for you.
Oh, stop it. You're being ridiculous.
What do you mean? I was just about to get down on one knee.
Что-то я очки трачу вообще бездумно. Блять.
Ancient Greek, translated, it reads, the all-gifted. Could this jar be the original Pandora's box? Emily, I've found Pandora's box. It's not as impressive as I thought it would be, but that's how these things usually go.
I detest that legend. Once again, women are made responsible for all of the world's evils. And stop playing with that pot. You'll break it. Come on, let's move on.
Emily, what if I open the jar? Would that then make man responsible for all the evils?
Try. It'll make a change. All right, can we move on now?
I do love your irony, but honestly, are you ever impressed by anything you see?
By a chamber pot? No, you really do need to do better than that.
Блин, я вот это место проходил 3 раза. И первый раз я вот ну, у меня не было знания переводчика, я первый раз перевел эти надписи вот на кольце и здесь. И первый раз я открыл эту хрень. Прикольно. Я вообще не знаю, что это такое, я думал, просто кувшин. Лол. Каждое прохождение, каждые очки навыка дают какие-то свои характеристики, ну, особенности.
A golden fleece.
It's freezing. Hurry up.
Cold? You want a rug? It'll warm you up.
I wouldn't be caught dead in that horrible thing.
That's a pity. The gold color brings out your eyes.
And your flattery brings out your boorishness.
Вот уже, блин. Блять.
An unofficial gospel? You'd be more likely to find this kind of book at the Vatican.
Nothing special. The library at Buckingham has 3.
I bet you've read them cover to cover.
Naturally.
Really? I'm curious. Tell me, what part stood out the most to you?
The passage where Mary says to Joseph, "Hey, you, shut up."
Hey,
In other words, you haven't even opened one.
Hey, you, shut up.
Hey, Mortimer is the author of this work. It talks about his passion for art.
Так, что тут еще можно поприкалываться. Вот это вот самая веселая часть, здесь столько приколов.
Guess what I found?
The Holy Grail.
Older than that.
A piece of Noah's Ark.
Not that old.
This could go on for hours. Just tell me.
Caesar's laurel wreath.
Stop! Don't put your grubby fat fingers on it.
You find my fingers fat?
At least put on some gloves.
Please note, my fingers are slim.
You were going to leave marks. My God, what an amateur.
Many a harpsichord players would love to have sexy fingers like mine.
Tell me where you took your infiltration classes so I can have your tutor executed.
Let's compare hands then. We'll soon see whose fingers are fattest.
No, I'm not going to compare hands with you. Let's just keep going.
Bad loser.
Bad loser. Блин, вообще класс.
looks like a pamphlet on different political regimes, written by Mortimer himself.
You should see this sword, Emily. It's magnificent.
I'm busy. Describe it to me.
Magnificent.
It really does look like Joan of Arc's sword.
The famous Maid of Orleans. One of your favorite historical heroines.
You bet, given the number of English butts she kicked.
And we all know where that got her. When you finished playing, maybe you can help me search the place?
Поможете обыскать комнату. Я тут уже все обыскал, а ты, блин, там роешься в своих бумажках.
A fragment of amber.
Here's something interesting. A manor in Maine. Hundreds of acres of land in Catalonia. Properties in Shanghai. Incredible. Some of these deeds are over 600 years old. And all signed by the hand of Mortimer.
I wonder if that's what inspired my mother's attention. How come all these documents have Mortimer's signature on them?
Do you think all these properties really belong to him?
Ну, давай
See
потратим.
those fine scratches around the words?
Yes, and?
The ink barely spreads on the paper. It spreads exactly the same way on the signature. The deed was written using the same ink. If it is a fake, then it's a professional job. Several people have played the part of Mortimer, a part that has been passed down from generation to generation. Different men, but with one sole identity.
An intriguing hypothesis, and yet less twisted than some of my previous cases.
At last, you finally agree with me about something.
These documents are intriguing, but do you really think that's what attracted your mother's attention here?
And how do you know my mother was interested in this room?
I didn't know, I just supposed she was. And you just confirmed it. So, do you think she found what she came for?
I don't know. She was obsessed with Mortimer, and I must confess, these property deeds are troubling.
If that's the case, why would she have left them?
Once again, I don't know. We'll have to ask her when we find her. And what's your take? Why keep such a collection hidden in a secret room? Any thoughts?
Mortimer has every reason in the world to conceal it, even if only to keep it from people like us.
Hey, Emily, we're not thieves. We're only looking. I wonder why my mother didn't make it clear what she was interested in here.
She didn't have time to write it down, or maybe she wasn't sure of what she was looking for.
Or she wanted to protect her discoveries. It's disturbing.
You'll just have to search the rest of the room. Maybe you'll find something. What is that you found?
A cameo pendant. What's going on?
Nothing.
For crying out loud, Emily, you lunged?
Так, подожди, к чему у нее там устойчивость? Слабость к психологии. Угу.
That jewel like your life depended on it. Tell me what this is about.
No. We just met, Louis. I like you, but I can't just suddenly open myself up like a book to you.
Listen, Emily. It seems pretty obvious to me that you haven't come here for the sole purpose of sampling Mortimer's cellar.
Stop all the clever evasions and just trust me.
And why the hell should I place my trust in you, Louis?
Fuck. Ah. Психология, ну блин. Блять. Да похуй.
When are you going to understand that I just want to help you?
What do you expect? That I'll fall into your arms and say yes to everything you want?
What are you talking about? I'm only asking you to trust me a little.
If only on principle, as a member of the Golden Order, for example.
I'll admit you are fairly reliable.
That's it? I was expecting more.
Well, I'm prepared to trust you when it comes to choosing a French cheese. But I've nothing to gain by confiding in you any further than that.
Nothing to gain? Damn it, Emily! I'm only trying to help you. Stop needing to gain something all the time.
Because you think I need help?
Just like everyone. You have your strengths and your weaknesses. And there's no use pretending otherwise.
Ha! And I bet you found out where I'm weak, haven't you?
5 штук ты гонишь, блядь.
You think your scathing wit protects you, but in fact, it makes you blind. No sooner have people introduced themselves and you already see them in a bad light. You play the part of a strong woman, and yes, you are a strong woman, of course. But what I see is a sensitive young lady who lacks self-confidence. Stop adopting a defensive posture, and you'll see just how quickly new doors will open.
There is some truth to what you say. I might have some weaknesses, but I don't need your help to overcome them. And I'm simply not contemplating collaborating with anyone at this time. Do you understand?
Клево, да? Я мог потратить 5, блядь, очков на ответ. И я знал, что он правильный ответ. Потому что я, всегда его, в прошлый раз я проходил, и всегда его выбирал, потому что я изучал психологию. Но мне он обходился дешевле. А сейчас, так как я херовый психолог, то мне он, стало жалко 5 очков. Вот это верный ответ.
I don't see us as partners for life. You won't owe me anything, you know. It doesn't commit you to anything after all.
All right, you've gone to a lot of trouble. You deserve an answer. I already have a work partner. I know my weaknesses. I don't doubt that your abilities will be of use to me. But I already have all that, thanks to my teammate.
Is there any chance you might tell me who he is?
No, I've already said too much. Consider yourself lucky I've even given you this much. It's extremely rare, believe me.
Come on, don't stop now that you've come this far. You know that eventually I'll end up making you talk.
Well, since no one can resist you, let's see if you can guess who my partner is.
You're a gambler. So, your partner is... your sister. She's your partner. She's the one you're looking for.
Well, I am impressed. How the devil did you guess I had a sister? Virtually no one even knows. When it comes to getting results, you are very good, I grant you that. You deserve to know why the sight of the cameo pendant affected me so strongly. I thought it belonged to Emma, my twin sister.
Oh. Now I get why you said you had a memory for two.
Yes, you can't imagine to what extent, though. As children, everyone got us mixed up. So one day we decided to play along. Since then, we have become one and the same. We have officially erased the identity of my sister Emma. Emily Hillsborough, the woman with two faces.
Clever. But isn't it complicated? How do you make it work?
One of us has no existence in the outside world. We share everything. First for one, then for the other. We dress the same, wear the same makeup, we speak the same. We've learned to act as one. When we accept a mission, we both turn up. This time, though, she went ahead, and I was meant to wait for her on the mainland. She was meant to meet Sir Home and bring back the details, so we could work out who would follow up.
And there was a problem?
She was supposed to return from Mortimer's 1 week ago. The boat turned up at Plymouth, but alas, no trace of my sister. Instead, a sailor passed me a message from home, notifying me of her sudden disappearance.
So, my mother and your sister go missing just a few days apart. That's strange. Maybe their disappearances are linked.
It's clearly a possibility, but up to now I haven't found a trace of either of them.
None of this is very reassuring.
By the way, Louis, now that you are in on the secret, you are obliged to keep it to yourself, or you will pay very dearly.
Don't worry. Your secret is safe with me.
It's time to leave.
Прикольно, прикольно.
So, what do you think of our first adventure?
I must admit, it has been fun by your side.
Same here.
she's been drinking too much again.
Louis, I need to talk to you right now.
Good evening, Elizabeth. Actually, this is not a good time.
I'm begging you, please don't leave me alone.
I'll be waiting for you in your room, but don't be late.
I was sure there was a certain je ne sais quoi between us.
Louis, we need to talk now. Otherwise, it'll be too late.
Looks like Elizabeth really needs me, but if I start talking to her, for sure Emily won't wait for me. What should I
И
do?
вот здесь, кстати, самый интересный выбор. Пойти с ней или с ней. Тут на самом деле даже 3 ветки. 3 разных события произойдут. И я покажу их все. Наверное, начнем сначала вот с этого вот.
Excuse me, Elizabeth, but some very urgent business has cropped up. We can speak tomorrow.
No, Louis, don't leave me alone. They've come back.
Good night, madam.
Well, well, Louis, you took your sweet time. What did our poor Elizabeth want?
The truth is, I really don't have the slightest idea. But I thought all of that could wait until tomorrow.
That young girl seems very...
Emily? Have I misunderstood something here? What are you doing in my room?
And for a while now, the question has been nagging at me.
And that explains why I now find you here, in my bed. Go ahead. Ask me the question that's been burning at your lips.
I know your mother was here to meet someone, but I can't figure out who.
Oh. So that's what's been hiding behind all this.
We are both members of the Order, Louis. Let's try to be honest with each other. I have followed with great interest your affair in Paris, in connection with Mr. von Borchardt. You managed to steal something from him, if I'm not mistaken.
Это вот, кстати, самое начало. Мазафака, фака, мазафака. Почему у нее там устойчивость? Вот. Эмили и Эмма. 2 разные чувихи. Психология и логика. Фака, 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 маза.
Exactly. And what about you, my friend? What were you and your dear sister looking for here?
Well, our mission was to find out more about that particular book.
And why that one?
Let's just say that the Queen is desperately seeking a way of relieving the King from his difficulties with dementia.
Well, how about that?
This is quite fascinating. But just what did Sarah expect to accomplish here?
If only I knew myself. My mother always takes a sly pleasure in telling me as little as possible.
Oh, poor little Louis. Your mother hides things from you. That's not very nice.
No, it's not nice at all. And you, what were you supposed to do once the book was found?
Give it to our sponsor, of course. Sir Gregory has more than one card up his sleeve.
So you mean Home is playing both sides? I'd say the Queen is going to be disappointed.
What can we do? Sometimes things work out like that. Right, enough chatting. Come and join me instead.
Кстати, здесь тоже 2 выбора есть, капец. Вот этот выбор я, кстати, не пробовал. Хрен его знает. Здесь будет, блин, ну просто типа и все. А этот я не знаю, что будет. Ладно, давай сначала этот. Я покажу все
I
концовки.
have to go, Louis. I don't want anyone finding me here in the morning.
You're right. Well, have a good night.
Good night. See you tomorrow, rested and ready.
Точнее,
Sure thing.
не концовки, а вот эти вот выборы. Завтра, ну, в следующей серии. Распущенный. А что она дает? Уклонение. Внимательный. Двери за мной. О, вот это клево. Надежный. Что вы делаете у меня в номере?
Lord Mortimer?
Monsieur de Richet,
At last we meet.
И это конец первой. Как это называется? Эпизод. Конец первого эпизода. Бла-бла-бла. Я могу узнать побольше о прошлом Элизабет из моей матушки. Короче, вот так вот. Я не знаю вообще, нахрена это надо, и вот это тоже мне особо никогда не пригодилось пока. Да ладно, пофиг. В принципе, что я играю, это все равно ни на что не влияет. Вот, короче, получается у нас 5 эпизодов. Вот, первый эпизод мы закончили и можем выбрать главу, часть, с которой можно повторить заново. Вот, если мы начнем с Гаргона, то это мы появимся в том зале, в галерее, и начнем заново расставлять эти статуи, окажемся опять с этой Эммой. Ну, в принципе, не так уж далеко. Но это уже будет в следующей серии. Я, наверное, все это без записи проверну и вставлю только выбор выбора концовки. Так что пока.